What's up, guys? So yesterday I was on YouTube looking at some videos, and in the suggestions box was a video for the Derrick James versus Joe Lipsey fight. Okay, this fight was from November 5th, 1994. It was at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, and it was on the undercard of the Michael Moore George Foreman fight. Let's see. This was the fight in which Derrick James lost his O. He was 10-0 with 5 KOs going into this fight. In the video I did talking about Derrick James being exposed because of how he criticized Kell Brook's record when his record was not that hot as a pro. He fought a lot of guys for losing records, etc., etc. Boxing babies, over 3 in title fights. He fought Joe Lipsey, okay? In his 11th fight, he fought a guy named Joe Lipsey. Joe Lipsey was 23-0 going into that fight. I did not know who Joe Lipsey was. I did, really don't remember Joe Lipsey, okay? So I went to his box rec. Man, the people who were managing Derrick James' career, whoever made these decisions to put him in the ring with a Joe Lipsey, man, terrible, terrible, terrible. Like I said, Joe Lipsey was 23-0 when he fought Derrick James. He shortly retired after this fight. He retired at 25-1. Joe Lipsey, 25. He had 25 wins. 20 of those wins by KO. Okay, inside the distance. His last fight was against Bernard Hopkins for the IBF Middleweight title. He got knocked out in the 4th round. I saw somewhere online that he could have retired because of health reasons. I'm not sure. But Derrick James was the third to last fight of the end of his career. Okay. And this guy's nickname was the Sledgehammer. Okay. So somebody decided to put young, I believe, a 22-year-old Derrick James in the ring with the Sledgehammer, a guy who had been a pro since 1988. So he had been a pro for 6 years up to that point, while Derrick James was only in his 2nd year as a pro. Terrible. Joe Lipsey started out his career on a he started out his career on an 8-fight knockout streak. He was 8-0 with 8 knockouts from 1988, November of 1988 to what is this? December of 1990. Okay. So this guy was a knockout artist from the beginning. All right. And by the time he fought Derrick James, he was 23-0 with 18 knockouts. You put in your young guy at 10-0 with 5 KOs in with this seasoned pro who the announcer said in this fight was highly ranked by the 3 major sanctioning bodies, WBA, WBC, and the IBF. The highest being number 4 in the IBF. He was scheduled to face the winner of the Bernard Hopkins and whoever he was fighting after Roy Jones vacated that title. So they put this guy in with one of the elite middleweights at the time at 10-0. Terrible. At the MGM Grand, I mean, was the money that good? It was not worth it. You know, he was on a big stage. Yes, he had just knocked out a guy who was 24-3, I believe. Yes, but this was too much too soon for Derrick James. As opposed to the way the Ingles managed Kell Brook's career, and Kell Brook turned out the way he turned out. His career was not derailed. You know, this could have ruined and hurt badly Derrick James' confidence. You know, it could have done something to his heart to get exhausted in on the big stage at the MGM Grand against one of the top guys and getting stopped. All right, too much too soon. Terrible. If that happened today in 2017, social media would be all on Derrick James' management. It would be heavily criticized. And if this fight would happen today, I would have put money on Joe Lipsey to win. I'm pretty sure Joe Lipsey was probably at least a 5-1 favorite, 4-1 at minimum, okay? And probably would put money on him to win inside the distance, as he did. All right, so to my notes. All right. Um, at the beginning of the fight, I mean, soon, not too long after the first bell ring, commentators questioned the, as they said, kamikaze nature of his handlers putting him in with someone like Lipsey so fast. They said that Derrick James' handlers were confident because of his amateur background. He had over 400 amateur fights. You know, who else had an extensive amateur background and is in a high profile fight coming up soon? Okay, you know. All right, so this is the way I saw the fight. In round one, 10-8 for Derrick James. He boxed well, outlanded Lipsey, and got a knockdown near the end of the round. He looked very good in the first round. I gave it to Derrick James. He was moving well. He was sticking and moving. And I thought he outlanded Lipsey, and he got a clean knockdown on Lipsey. He looked very good. He looked very competitive, like he belonged, okay? So I will give that to him. But again, if this guy had been moved at a slower pace, built up, maybe got 10 to 15 more wins before getting to this level, it would have benefited him greatly. All right. Round two, I have an asterisk, only half of the round shown, so I scored that round even. For some reason, the video of this fight, there were 2 rounds, at least, I think 3, that like only like part of the rounds were shown. Round 3, 10-9 Lipsey. Lipsey was the aggressor. He landed harder, cleaner, effective shots. Round 4, only 40 seconds shown. 10-8 for Derrick James. James knocks Lipsey down with a left before the end of the round. The commentator said it was a push, but it was a punch, like a clear punch to me. And Lipsey went down, so that was a 10-8 round for Derrick James. Round 5, 10-8 Lipsey. He knocked James down. He pushed James into the ropes hard. James shot off the rope like a slingshot, and Lipsey threw and hit him with a hard left hand. Now that was not the knockdown. The knockdown was before that, but I noticed that because I really had never seen that happen before. He pushed James very hard. James went into the ropes very hard, slung off like a slingshot, and then he caught him with a left. It was pretty cool to see. Round 6, I have another asterisk. Only half of the round shown. Commentator said James was being sucked into Lipsey's fight, which was true. James not maintaining distance and staying outside. He stayed planted right there near Lipsey. He was trying to walk Lipsey down, but it was to his disadvantage. He should have stayed outside and used his distance like he did in the first round. But he was outclassing Lipsey. Okay. All right. Let's see. I have lack of experience in parentheses because if he had been more seasoned, if he had been in more fights, been in with more experienced guys, came up slowly, maybe he wouldn't have made that mistake being lulled into Lipsey's fight. He would have kept using his range, his legs, his distance, and his jab. So I scored that round even because it was only a partial round shown. Round 7. Derrick James trapped in the corner. He got teed off on. James looking fatigued, breathing heavy through the mouth. 10-9 Lipsey. Again, too much too soon. Being in a 10-round fight, the MGM Grand on this undercard of Foreman Moore, the guy was not ready for his level, and he tired. If he had been in a 6-round fight instead of a 10-round fight, it would have benefited the guy. It would have benefited him. He was gassing by this point. All right. So that was a 10-9 round for Lipsey in the 7th. Round 8, 10-8 Lipsey. James exhausted. He got hit with a flush left hook that turned his head in the middle of the ring. He backed up to the ropes and into the corner. Lipsey threw what looked like a glancing, not flush left. In a quick move, in my opinion, as the ref pushed Lipsey away. Lipsey was kind of crowding him in the corner. The ref pushed Lipsey away. James took that opportunity to to pull a quick move. He had a very delayed slide down in the corner to attempt to get a breather. He was leaned up against the turnbuckles, and he slowly just slid down, one of the slowest, guys going down you'll ever see, and really did not look like he got hit flush. He just, used that separation to try to get a breather, much like he did in the Otis Grant fight when he took a headbutt and then he backed up and then collapsed trying to get a breather, and the ref gave him the really look and then gave him a count. And pretty much the same thing happened here. He went down in the corner and the ref gave a count, even though it did not look like a flush shot to me. All right, so that was a 10-8 round for Lipsey. He was gassed. Round 9, James slips a right hand and goes down. They gave him a count as if a punch landed. He's exhausted and ready to quit. Lipsey goes over to him, gets him against the ropes, throws a few punches. None of them really land flush, but the ref jumped in and stopped the fight. And Derrick James did not protest it one bit. He easily walked away. In my notes, I have in capital letters, he quit. Derrick James quit. Okay? And then he had the nerve to say that Kell Brook quit against Triple G. When that was not the case, that was Dominic Ingle. Kell Brook did not want that fight stopped. This guy, when the fight was stopped, he made no protest, even though, in my opinion, Lipsey went over to him against the ropes. He threw some punches. James was covered up. I didn't see a flush shot land, but the ref jumped in and stopped it anyway, I guess because he thought the guy was finished. And Derrick James did not protest it whatsoever. So he went down on a phantom punch, and then got stopped against the ropes against punches that really did not land. And he did not protest. He quit. He was tired. He wanted out of that fight, So this guy does not need to be saying that Kell Brook quit against Triple G when he did not. When this guy had his hands down taunting Golovkin, and Dominic Ingle stood up on the apron and waved the towel. It was not Kell Brook saying, "Take me out, coach," sticking his head outside the ropes or falling down, like this guy, or phantom punches. If that was Derrick James against Golovkin, he would have fell down, looking for a way out. He would have went against the ropes covered up, hoping that the ref stopped it. So this guy cannot call anybody a quitter after I saw this fight. I had Lipsey ahead 76-74 at time of the stoppage. I had 2 even rounds on my scorecard because of the incomplete footage in the video, so I scored those even rounds since I could not declare a clear winner. Having seen Joe Lipsey fight, I would have loved to have seen him against David Lemieux. This version of Joe Lipsey against David Lemieux would have been an action fight. Man, lots of heavy power punches. Somebody would have got knocked out. Joe Lipsey was a southpaw. He was 5'9". So once again, Derrick James had that huge reach and height advantage, like he did against Otis Grant. Came up short yet again, but Joe Lipsey appeared to be an exciting fighter. His stance, his guard, the way he moved his arms, head, and the way he moved his feet, he reminds me a lot of Rafael dos Anjos from the UFC. I think this guy was an exciting fighter at his time. He was one of the best middleweights of his time, and it would have been great to have seen him against David Lemieux. That would have been a great action fight. All right, I think that's about it, guys. But yeah, once again, Derrick James, after seeing this, as I said before, this was too much too soon. Terrible job by whoever was managing this guy's career. Unless he was pushing for this himself, it was on a big stage. I don't know what the payday was like, but in the end, it was not worth it because this guy got a loss on his record. His career got derailed. It was not the same. It could have trended in a different way if he had been fighting guys around his level in 6-round fights, continue to get seasoned, get better conditioned, become more of a pro, man, get more wins on the resume, and slowly build up to an 8-round fight and then a 10-round fight, instead of getting gassed against this guy who was highly ranked and one of the best middleweights of his time. So bad job by his management. If the Ingles were managing this guy, his career would have gone better, as I have said. And this guy has no reason to call Kell Brook a quitter against Triple G when I clearly saw this guy quit in this fight, in my opinion. Thanks for watching.